Yeah, welcome to the open book, where truth don't hide, stories ride, and every chapter got that power. Turn the page, now you stepping in, where real ones talk and the fake pretend. From viral heat to deep convo, we write the truth, let the whole world know. This ain't just a channel, it's a movement. The open book, every story, every voice.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It is rainy, okay, here in Texas, well, the part of Texas where I'm located. And y'all, this was the perfect day for this conversation because, baby, this story is in layers. Okay, you're gonna see why I am saying that because y'all, my mind was blown. Okay, make sure you tap that like button as you come in and let everyone know we are live. Also, if you would like to support the channel, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat, a cash out, which is scrolling on the screen, or buy your girl a coffee. Okay, y'all know the fall is coming. Okay, I'm about to start back going to work. I got to go into the office more now. So hey, hit up that coffee link and buy your girl a coffee. But I appreciate your support. That like button and share button is for free. Okay, let's see who we have here so far. Good morning, Latte. My girl is in the building. Thank you for joining and for being first in the building. I appreciate that. Hey, only one Lola with the info. Hey, sis. Good morning. Thank you for joining. Yes, help your girl reach her goal. We only have 10 supers. It can be for any amount, and that will help me reach my goal. Hey, Dr. Nakia Dowdy is in the building. She said, good morning, everyone. Make sure as you come in, you go hit the like button and do the poll. It builds her revenue average and visibility as well as her algorithm. Thank you. Yes, y'all heard what she said. Okay. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. Hey, Catherine, good morning. Thank you so much for joining today. Okay, let me make sure I have. Okay, so you're in Houston. So is it raining there? Because I'm in the DFW area. Okay, so it's raining where you are as well. Okay, Latte. Hey, Kathleen, welcome. Yes, happy Sabbath, everyone. Let's see. Yeah, Latte needs to go live too. Okay. So y'all, and also shout out and welcome to my Facebook family too. I don't see any comments yet from Facebook, but we have Facebook and YouTube on our live today. So I like having the comments on the side because you'll be able to tell who's from Facebook and who's from YouTube. Because y'all, on the other way with StreamYard, it was hard to tell. People were thinking they were blocked by some people because they couldn't see them and so forth. So I'm like, okay, make sure y'all hit that like and let everyone know we are here. So we are here from YouTube and Facebook. Yes, thank you, Lolo. This live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act. Information shared is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. Okay, I got you. See, look, that's how you know you probably know more than me. Thank you so much. And it's funny you said about being in the algorithm. I was just sharing with someone this morning, another content creator that I wasn't even familiar with, shared one of my shorts, okay, yesterday over the Tamar situation. And I was like, that's good news because, and I don't mind anyone sharing it. They can share whatever they want to share. But it showed that I was in the algorithm because this lady, y'all, I had never heard of her, but she has like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And when she clicked on my video, because I went and looked at the clip, when she clicked on it, I'll see it. I guess she clicked on one of the other videos first, and it said, "Hello and welcome to the open book." She hurried up and clicked off of it. Child, hey, she don't want her subscribers finding the open. She was like, I'm not trying to advertise now. I'm just trying to show you how. I'm just trying to show y'all a short, but I was like honored and I'm grateful for her even choosing my short to show everyone on her channel. So shout out to that content creator. Grand Rising at 10 back. Welcome. Thank you for joining. You can't see the side, girl. Catherine said, I don't think that it's raining in San Antonio, Texas right now. Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, some parts, Texas is very funny acting. The weather here, I should say, parts might be snowing. Okay, that's how it is in Texas. Texas, you never know what weather you're gonna get. All right, let's get into this because y'all, this thing has layers, and I've been doing some research this morning, and we're gonna kind of go back a little. Y'all know how I like to go back and then come forward to more recent events with this story, okay? Because the pieces are going to come together. Shout out to the Queen Royal D is in the building. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you for joining, sis. She said, start putting your name on your videos in the lower right. Well, on that short, it did show my name. Yes, it did. And most of them, like if it's another video, it'll show it in the outro for sure. But on some of the actual short videos that I put in there, make sure. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing that more, sis. Okay. All right, so y'all, this past week we have been exposed to a variety of stories, okay? From the Cardi B trial, where she's the defendant in a case against a security guard that was working at a facility where she was at the OBGYN, and there was a whole altercation, okay? And so now, y'all, and I didn't realize that case was so long ago. I said they're finally get into this case after about 7 years. Okay. So we are hearing about that trial. Then we were hearing about the beef going on between Tamar and Funky Dineva. That was in the news and in all of the blogs and so forth. Then, y'all, we come across this story with David E. Taylor. Now, I must say, when I saw his picture, I it's like I don't forget a face, but the name I just couldn't put my finger on it. Okay. The face was very familiar. And I said, well, I do kind of remember him for being on like TV, preaching or whatever, but it was something else that I just couldn't put my finger on until today. As a matter of fact, it was today when I figured out where I knew him from. Yes, I'm gonna have to do that. Now, y'all, believe it or not, David E. Taylor used to date the singer Vicki Yohe. Okay. And when I tell y'all Vicki Yohe, let me pull up the picture. Vicki Yohe, I love her voice. Very anointed woman of God. Like her voice is so beautiful. Hold on, let me pull up a picture so y'all will see who I'm talking about. Make sure y'all tap the like button if you are Facebook and YouTube. Let's see. All right, here she is. Okay, so this is a picture of Vicki Yohe. For those of you, y'all may remember her. She was very prominent in a lot of the churches, like making appearances and so forth in different arenas, like the Black community and all of that. She was very well known, and then things took a turn back when Trump was elected president the first time. Okay. Now, let me kind of give y'all a little background first with this whole Vicki Yohe and David Taylor, and then we're going to get into how all of that plays a part into this. Now, gospel singer Vicki Yohe claims that she was engaged in a premarital sexual relationship that took place around 16 months, okay, total. They were in that relationship for 16 months, okay, with Pastor David E. Taylor of Joshua Media Ministries International, whom at the time, now Vicki came out with this in 2018, December 2018, and she even accused him of being a cult leader. Now, let me show y'all a picture of them together, okay? Let me pull that up. I want y'all to see how things connect. Now, this goes back to 2018. Let's see. I keep clicking the wrong one. Okay. Now, this is a picture of them together. Okay. Good afternoon, Teron. Welcome. Thank you for joining. All right. So, David saw that Vicki had done this video. We're going to look at this video that she did Facebook Live after she was able to escape from that cult. Now, Taylor had responded during that time saying that Vicki Yohe's claims were untrue and that he had a face-to-face relationship with God and was under attack by demons. Okay. Now, in this Facebook Live video, which we will watch in a second, Vicki said that she had began her relationship with the emerging minister after he took her under his wing following the backlash she received for posting an Instagram meme of Jesus heading back to the White House after President Donald Trump was sworn in. Now, I tried to find that meme, y'all, but she took a lot of heat for that. Okay, it was right after Obama, he was no longer president. Then Trump was elected as president, and she had posted, it was like an image of Jesus saying, oh, he's going back into the White House. And then people started wondering, what do you mean back into the White House? So are you saying that when President Barack Obama was president or in office, Jesus wasn't there? And so a lot of people, y'all, went against her. She faced a lot of backlash because of her predominantly Black church following. Yohe was attacked and she was branded a racist by some. Many churches also canceled ministry events with her, which led to her dependence at that time on medication. She was taking a low dose of Adderall to cope, to get through that season in her life. So, in this video that we're going to watch, she talked about how she started getting cozy with David Taylor. Okay. This was then, see, let me just say this. I'm going to put a bookmark here. When you're going through a form of hurt, whether it's church hurt, any type of pain, you have to be careful because those are the times when the enemy will try to come in, okay, and can disguise himself as anything, okay, that's going to appease to you to make you feel better. And so after this hurt that she was going through from, the post and people, canceling on her, she's now being called a racist. Y'all, she was getting into it. People, because I was following her during that time. She was getting rude comments when she would go live. She went on a whole blocking spree. It was a crazy time period, okay, during that time. So then here he comes and he's looking like, oh, hey, he's not so bad. That I'm hurt now, and now I'm getting involved in this relationship with this minister that was saying all of the right things, okay, doing all of the right things. And so she talked about how she fell into pretty much that trap, okay. She said that they got cozy together, that he got screenshots of certain things. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. Some inappropriate things. Okay. Vicki also described a trip that she took with David and his ministry to Israel, where she first noticed what she called his controlling and manipulative behavior. She was allegedly attacked by his assistants after making some remarks they deemed inappropriate. And she said that David refused to meet with her in Israel to address the issue, even though they were already dating. Instead, his assistants proceeded to put her in a room and corrected her to the point of tears, y'all, for a whole hour and a half. Okay, and she's going to talk about that part as well. Now, she had claimed that she was brainwashed by him, that she had just eventually gave in and accepted everything he said about her. And y'all, that is, I know it's hard to believe from people that are not involved in those types of cults and those types of programs and all of that. It's hard to believe because you're like, man, you couldn't see through that. Well, when you're in it, it's hard to see through that sometimes. Okay, you're believing what they actually told you, okay, or tell you. And so she was pretty much believing everything he said, whether it was good or bad. She also said that she ignored the red flags of Taylor, never once answering her call. So you're in a 16-month relationship, and imagine calling that person and they're not picking up. He would only call or video chat with her when it was convenient for him during the course of their long distance relationship. And then after some time, she received a private message from one of the minister's other alleged girlfriends who showed her proof that David was also engaged in a relationship with her. So he wasn't just dating Vicki. Okay, he was dating multiple women at one time. So let me show y'all the news snippet from this week, and then we're going to get into her video. Let me take this off. Okay.
Investigators saying that this forced labor operation resulted in at least $50 million in donations since 2014. And all of that money helped pay for David Taylor and Michelle Brannan's extravagant lifestyle.
Brannan went before a federal judge in Tampa today following her arrest earlier. 8 on Your Side investigator Brittany Muller continues our team coverage live tonight.
Stacey and Keith, good evening. David Taylor and Michelle Brannan are accused of using religious beliefs to prey on their victims for their own personal financial gain. Court records show they used the funds to purchase several Mercedes and Bentleys, a Rolls Royce, a boat, 5 ATVs and jet skis, as well as $10,000 worth of seafood, plus this home in Avila worth more than $9 million.
You're looking at 2 FBI raids in 2 states, North Carolina and Florida, that investigators say led to the arrest of 2 self-professed religious leaders and their connection to the Kingdom of God Global Church. Federal investigators say David Taylor, who refers to himself as Apostle and Jesus' best friend, and his second in command, Michelle Brannan, lured people in nationwide with promises to fulfill their spiritual hunger and work as unpaid phone solicitors at call centers to serve as Taylor's arm bearers in Michigan, Missouri, Texas, and even here in Florida, including Tampa and Ocala. On Wednesday, Taylor was arrested in Durham, North Carolina, while Brannan in Tampa. This indictment filed in July shows since 2013, their victims were required to make a specific number of calls or raise a specific dollar amount. And if they did not meet their quota, there were consequences, physical violence, and psychological abuse. In one case, court records show Brannon texted 7 of the top closers need to go in the garage in Tampa now. Also, I want food taken away. The indictment reveals that this forced labor scheme resulted in at least $50 million in donations since 2014, which Taylor and Brannon said would be spent on supporting victims of human trafficking, all while they are now accused of committing that crime.
Michelle Brannon did not have an attorney present, so the hearing has been rescheduled for Thursday at 2:30 to allow her time to retain counsel. Brannon and Taylor will eventually be extradited to Michigan, where the case was initially filed. I'm Brittany Muller, 8 on your side.
Okay. Now, notice, y'all, that started taking place back in 2013. So even when him and Vicki Yohe were dating in about 2017 to 2018, she was in the midst of something that had already been started previous to her. Okay, so I wanted y'all to take note of that date. Now, let me pull up the video of Vicki once she was able to escape out of this cult. Okay, yes, girl, did you see it? We're gonna look at her page too. Child, she been posting up a storm. And y'all, I also found another YouTube page dedicated to exposing him. And y'all, it has real undercover type of videos where people have been watching him for a while. Let me say this, okay? Good morning, Queen Shailene. Thank you for joining. Let me say this, and this goes for anyone in life, okay? This is a life thing. People may do you wrong, and we know that we want to get our lick back, right? Well, God said vengeance is his, he will repay. Now, that repayment may not come within the same day. It may not come the same month. It may not come the same year. This has taken place, okay, when she came out and exposed him publicly, it was at the end of 2018. We are now in what year? 2025. Okay. And he was just arrested. That is almost 7 years. December will be 7 years. She spent 2 years of her life trying to expose him. Not just her, y'all. There are other women too that got out. Okay. There are other women too that got out and who have been speaking up about this. And now this is justice for them, okay? Because they have been trying to tell people for years about this man. Now, a couple of things could have happened, okay? Also, in the natural side of this, the FBI probably knew about some things he had already been doing. By these other people coming out and really trying to expose him for 2 years. See, the FBI, they don't go after you right when they hear about something, okay? What they do, especially if you're dealing in big money, like $50 million money with cars, and you have a whole operation, oh, they're going to allow you to get to a point, though, where you like really got deep into this thing, where your funds are really rolling. Okay, you got the top big dollars. That's when they're going to come for you. And that's when they're going to lay out the whole plan and the whole operation. Baby, they've been watching him properly. Okay, they have definitely, all these cars, it's been public stuff taking place. People have been giving him all these big gifts. And you think they weren't watching that? He has a whole, and we're going to look at something, y'all, because it was so funny. I said, child, how you have a whole broadcast yesterday? You in jail. Okay, baby, they done saved up sermons to still make money off his YouTube, to still make money off his YouTube account. I was like, no, Mama Force said, I love the new name. She said, yes, ma'am. She hosted a conference in every one of my city, and Pastor Queen Jackson brought her to, what's NTZ to do it? What's NTZ? Tell me what that is. Okay, so let me pull up. We're gonna go to Vicky's. Let's do Vicky's live now. This is when she first came out, y'all. Y'all bear with me. Okay, is this it? Okay, here it is. Yes, he's in jail now, girl.
Things keep, I don't think yeah, here we go, we're live. Okay, so I was having some issues. So let me say that again, okay? I'm going to keep going this time. I will not stop it, but I have last.
Terry.
Okay, and we'll just continue on. Let me know if I'm on or not, okay? So let me say this again. There's someone that may release a false statement about me, so I would like to release my statement in advance. All accusations that will be put forth are false and defaming. However, it is with a heavy heart that I even have to release this statement. So here I go. In August of last year, I felt like I had met the man of my dreams. I knew I had met the man of my dreams. Wasn't in a relationship with anyone, been divorced for years, and I just thought this was it. And I'm not going to go into a lot of, it's been 16 months. I thought I was his one and only, and I read his book, and I had a desire for a closer relationship with God. I had a desire to see Jesus face to face, and I read the book, and one thing I can tell you, that I did see Jesus. I did see Jesus. That's not something I made up. That's not something that he asked me to do for him in his ministry. No, I saw Jesus because I had a desire to see Jesus. Whether I would have been dating him or not, I know I would have. But we started dating 16 months ago, and a lot of people, he wanted it to be secret, but you'll know in a few moments why he wanted it to be secret. But I didn't, go against that because I had social media issues, and I thought, that's great. We can date privately, and no one will, I won't have to deal with all of that. And they've told me to stay to the script, but I'm having a hard time. Vicki, Yohe has a hard time staying to the script because I'm going to share my heart, and I'm going to look at these little notes every once in a while so I can kind of stay on point and not forget anything. But so it might be a 20-minute live, I don't know. But I really thought that I found my soulmate. I really did. I told him for the very, I'm not someone that plays games. Listen, if I'm with you, I love 100%. I told him from the very beginning, if you ever don't want to be with me, just tell me. I don't want to get my children involved in this relationship unless I know that it's going to marriage. A lot of people do that. I'm not going to do that. And if you ever see that it's not working with us, just don't cheat. Don't do that. And for me, I'm not somebody. I can't have things. Some people just have a lot of things going on me. One's a full-time job. But anyway, let me get back to my script that they want me to, we put together so I can stay focused. But so he's very different things I knew because I couldn't hardly. I've never called him where he would answer the phone. Never, ever in 16 months would answer the phone when I called. He would text me a few FaceTimes, but it was very because we didn't live around each other, so I might see him every couple months. So it wasn't something that was just So it was very long distance relationships are hard anyway. And I got to put this in here, and they really said this isn't necessary, but I want you to understand the control and the manipulation in this movement. It's a long thing that happened before, but I went to Israel with his group, and two of his leaders, women leaders, Jezebels, I'll call them, they're wicked, so wicked. Oh my God, they're wicked. Now that I look back on it, it's wicked. I guess I did some things that they thought, that I did wrong there, and I'm just going to tell you quickly. And I think like one of my friends getting baptized, and I had to hand camera to one of the guys to take it because I was singing "Take Me to the Water," and when he gave me the camera back, it was a picture of himself, and I went, "Oh my God!" I said, "Oh, and I guess I must have ticked everybody off. I don't know, just a bunch of stuff. So they told me they're gonna have to meet with me. And so I said, well, why am I meeting with you? He said, well, he wants you to meet with us. And I said, well, no, I'll meet with him. He's my, these two ladies actually knew about our relationship. I said, no, he's my boyfriend. I want to meet with him. He says, if you don't receive us, you don't receive him. Long story short, I ended up meeting with him. And for 1 hour and a half, I sat on a chair and I cried. I guess they were breaking me down. For 1 hour and a half, they literally told me pretty much I ain't worth nothing. You got a voice. You got a voice. You got a voice. You got a voice. That's what you got. Yeah, you can sing. Yeah. I could not talk for an hour and a half. I was weeping. I wanted to defend myself. That's pride. For 1 hour and a half, and I kept thinking, the man that loves me says he's in love with me. How would he put me in a room with two women that would try to break me down for an hour and a half? Okay, I'm getting myself back together because I'm reliving all this stuff. I'm reliving it. Okay. I am a stable person. That situation right there. That situation right there. I kept thinking, oh my God, who would do this to the person? I mean, I couldn't wrap my mind around this whole verbal and, correction and there was no love, not bit of love. It was evil and it was wicked. When I left the room, I texted him. I said, I was broken. I said, thank you so much. I probably needed that. That's how brainwashed I was. I probably knew that, I may have some pride. That's how brainwashed I was. Brainwashed. So let's get past that. Israel, I went back, we went to Greece, and, I'm a secret, which is, okay, that's what we've been doing. So, but I get back home from Israel, and I want to talk about something. I'm going to look at my script, make sure I'm sticking to it, or say, okay. I get an inbox from a woman, and I'm going to call her A. And she says she didn't know that I was dating him. She just knows that I was connected to the ministry. And she shows me screenshots, texts, oh my God, from him. So I freak out, screenshot it, send it to him, and his assistant called him. He don't answer the phone, of course. She said, are you okay? I said, I need it. So anyway, long story short, they both get on the phone. Now she's in on all his stuff. She is the master manipulator. I mean, she helps him. They wine and dine the rich people. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you. She is a part of his whole thing. So, God, I lost my train of thought.
He's talking about Michelle Brandon.
So we're on the phone, and he's like, I just woke up. What's going on? And so he said, oh, I'm seeing all these texts. Michelle, tell her. I'm like, so Michelle said, well, Apostle, he's got all these. I said, but the texts that I'm seeing that she's sending are similar stuff that he says to me. Which, well, Vicki, and he's like, and so, he said, that was before me. That was before you, before me. You know, go block and delete her now. Block her. She's a traitor. Get rid of her. So I just go back and I block her and I delete her and I get rid of her. Coming down, I just needed about another 10 minutes. So, holiday time. I'm saying, when are we going to meet the holiday? Don't say anything. He did in October. He said something, well, you know, it's the most romantic time of the year. We'll get together, you know. Then 3 days ago, now listen, he's big with gifts. That's what he does. He lavishes women with gifts. This is I got this Jaguar. I got $945 red bottoms 2 days ago. Those ain't going back. But he lavishes women with gifts. That's what he does.
Too.
So let me continue on. So, God, I keep losing my thought. Lord, help me. I'm asking about Christmas. I said, my boys are going to be with their dad. I'll be by myself. I'm just going to come on up to where you are and just me and I'll be there with you. No answer. No answer. Nothing. You get nothing from him. So 2 days ago, I just said, you know what? I'm not coming to One Night with the King. And I told him, I said, if I'm not seeing you before your meetings, I'm not, there's no way I'm coming. So he said, okay, we'll cancel your plane ticket. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me so clear. It was like, bam, go unblock this woman. And you ask her when was the last time she spoke with him. So I did. And she said, just today. She said, yeah. She sent me screenshots and she said, we talked. She showed me where incoming call. He was asking her on the text. He showed pictures of his book that he's got coming out next week or so. That he was asking her what, you know, hey baby, I need your help. He said, well, I got that same text, same picture of the books, but he called me baby. Because I never put up with the wifey. I ain't your wife. I screenshot it to him saying like I thought you were over. I mean, I thought that was before me. And within 5 minutes, y'all gotta hear this, or less. My social media, my Facebook, everybody, they sent out a text, a mass thing. Vicki Yohe is a traitor. Block and delete her. That's what they did. Vicki Yohe is a traitor. Block.
Okay. Now, Brittany, what were you saying about the video? But I wanted to say, y'all, when you're in those type of cults, any form of cult, it could be a social media cult, church cult, whatever. The first inkling of them thinking that you've taken back some form of control, or you have a different opinion, or you're possibly trying to escape, they're going to turn on you. Okay. They're going to try to get ahead of things to make you look crazy to other people. Okay. So other people don't believe you. And so now they don't want the others tainted. So they really try to get to the other people that are part of it so that they don't try to wake up too or try to escape. Y'all, it's almost like that movie Get Out. Do y'all remember the movie Get Out? Those of you who've seen it. Okay. They were all under this like trance, brainwashed or whatever. And then the one guy that was dating the older white lady, I forget his name. He's a popular actor. And they were out there taking a picture or something. And he didn't say what he usually say. And they could tell, something's wrong. He's coming out of it. You know, they had to get him back in line. Okay. And get his brain back to where it was. Because that's one of the keys. They knew that if people woke up, okay, they would start speaking up, telling the things that were taking place behind the scenes. Okay, behind the scenes. Oh, okay, Brittany, it's basically about a recent pastor, for those of you who are coming in, that was arrested, Pastor David E. Taylor. Y'all, he was a cult leader. He had people working for him, a whole organization where he had call centers set up where they were making phone calls trying to get donations. And if those people, they were working for free. If they didn't comply or make their quota. He would lock them up allegedly. They would go without food sometimes. He was getting all these big cars and gifts and all of his different money and so forth. And so it came out what was going on, and people have been trying to expose him over the course of the last few years. Vicki Yohe came out in 2018. So it's been 7 years, okay, since she came out with this video. This video was from 7 years ago. Okay, hey, Rebecca. Hey, Shelly, sis. Thank you, ladies, for joining. Let me tell y'all, we talked about this earlier. When vengeance comes out and God does it, it may not be immediate. It may be 7 years later. Okay, well, justice is served. Now, all of his stuff is starting to come out. Okay, yes, Brittany, I'm telling you, this is crazy. So I'm doing multiple videos because, y'all, this thing is in layers. Vicki Yohe, and she's a famous gospel singer, y'all. This is not just someone that people don't know. Now, if you're not really versed in gospel, the gospel music side, you may not know her, but she was very well known, prominent in the Black churches, you know, that community. But then after, those of you who missed this part, after when Donald Trump was elected the first time, she did a meme that said, now Jesus is going back to the White House. Well, a lot of people didn't take too kindly to that meme. They had started turning on her. Some called her racist, and she lost a lot of her followers. She lost a lot of engagements during that time as well. And we know that that could affect her money, okay? But she turned, and when all of that was going on, this is when she turned to this, I'm gonna be nice, this person, okay? he was what she felt that she needed at that time, okay? She said she was taking a low dose of Adderall to try to cope with what she was going through, and she got entangled in the relationship with this cult leader / scammer / all of the above, okay? And this is the video once she got out of it, because she found out she was not the only one in this relationship, you know, in a relationship with this person. They started texting each other, finding out that he has been doing this to multiple women. He has an assistant by the name of Michelle Brannon that was also arrested last week, okay? Or this week, however you want to look at it. And she was one that Vicki was just telling us about. They would pull her into a room. They had pulled her into a room, and they were like trying to break her down for an hour and a half, just, you know, brainwashing and making sure that she felt low about herself and didn't believe great things about herself. And she was reliving that in her mind a few minutes ago in the video. So she's kind of telling how she got out of this, okay? And then she has started exposing him, y'all, after that. But of course, he has his people that were brainwashed. People did not believe her. And hey, it kind of did, you know, died down some. But now look, see how stuff comes back? It's for an opportune time. Okay, people weren't ready to hear it back then, but I bet you they're ready to hear it now. Okay. After he's been found out, the FBI probably was following him ever since she came out. They were probably watching him. Yeah, you have to be careful of what you say. Exactly.
And delete her. Now, I'm not a traitor. I love face-to-face. I mean, I will not. I saw Jesus. I read that book. So if any of you, I see some of you face-to-face people on here, some of you part of that movement. Listen, I will never deny that. No, but I was a woman that was lied to. Okay, so that goes out to everybody. Then somebody that left the movement 3 months ago calls me on Facebook and says, Vicki, what's going on? Yeah, they want me to block you. I said, listen. I said, I've been dating an apostle, you know, since last August. No, you have. He said, no, I know who's been, I know his girlfriend. She's been dating him for 7 years. So there's 2. I said, oh my God. What? You gotta be kidding me. So what's her name? Inboxed her. That poor girl. Oh my God. I feel more for these women. I mean, I'm strong. I know God's gonna help me get through this. I know. But these women, y'all, these women, those two women are so broken. And I had to prove to her, you know, that I was who I was, and that, you know, we're all in this together. You know, she said he was just here, this girl, 4 days ago, and spent a couple days with me. I'm like, oh my God, how do you juggle all this? When I had that issue, when I got back from Israel with this first one, his assistant, the wicked woman, he loves me, and, you know, that woman was from the past, and, you know, he just loved you so much. Well, Lady A said that same day she called me and told me the same thing. So his assistant's in on it. It's a big mess. And one of the common things that the girls were saying, we know of 2 more, maybe 4 more. I don't know. I know of 2 more. So I'm hoping that me sharing this, though, if you're out there and he is, you know, telling you a bunch of junk, and, you know, you want to believe it, because it's like almost, you know, I've been to his house. He showed me his other house, you know, and his cars. Oh, don't you like your car? Act like it. All of them has the same story. He shows them all his stuff, and you liked it. That's yours. You know, it's not yours. He's a pathological liar. But he builds. Now these women aren't rich women. They're not women that he's, you know. It's not that. I don't know what it is. He finds one of them. He found on Facebook, and I feel so bad because she actually came to the ministry because of me being on Facebook. So let me continue on, because I'm getting sidetracked. So now that I've come out like this, like now that I've, you know, I confronted him, he's come out with a statement through his ministry that, you know, he tried to help Vicki, but she's on drugs. You know, she's on drugs, and she's, you know, listen, when I went through that social media issue, my doctor put me on a low dosage of Adderall, like 10, you know, and it wasn't like I'm not on drugs. You know, it's what bothered me is that he's saying, he's pulling it back on me. And I said, you know what, you cheated. He said, but a traitor, he's what he says, how warped his mind is. A traitor is worse than a cheater. And I said, but I thought you loved me. He said, you believe that lie. I got it all in my text. You believe that lie. I'm heartbroken. I did this video, and I got a few more things I want to say, because I want you to know that don't be afraid. He told me I was going to get cancer. He told me if I came against his ministry, I'm going to get cancer and die. He thinks because I did this, I'm a traitor. I love face-to-face. I saw Jesus. But it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay to treat women like this. I have to address another thing. Because he's, you know, all of his movement, they've shut me out. So they think I'm just a traitor. They don't know why. So he had to release this false stuff about me, saying that I've been with married men and all that kind of stuff, which is, why is it, you know, I'm the one that got cheated on. These women got cheated. Now he's going to fabricate makeup stuff. I dated a guy one time. Look, another crazy one. We didn't date very long, but he came to my recording in Nashville, and he came and he said, I got married 3 days ago. So there's married 3 days ago. Well, he's married now. I'm no longer dating him. He literally is saying that I've been with a married man. Not true. let me tell you something. Today I'm going to be so vulnerable. I'm going to be so open and honest. If that was true, I would say yes, it was. But it was not true. He took advantage of my state of my situation, and he used my popularity to sell books and to bring notoriety to his ministry. I am so convinced that is what they do. That is what they do, y'all. That is what they do. And I see it so clearly now because him and his assistants, they're in on that. They prey on people that either have influence or money.
And that's what you have to be careful of, y'all. People sometimes will try to make you feel a certain type of way and down you, but they see the favor of God on your life or something that you possess that is really value to them. Okay. They were trying to break her down. However, and this is, like I said, my opinion, allegedly, but using her in a sense because she was this popular, and she is. I mean, I don't know where all she sings now, but I mean, she has albums out, CDs, and so forth. I love her music. One of the songs, Because of Who You Are, y'all, we used to dance in sacred dance at church to that song. Beautiful songs. Her and Martha Menezzi, all of these ladies, have beautiful voices. And so he knew that, okay? He knew that she had influence, okay? So while you're trying to break her down, you're also using her to your advantage to get into different places. Oh, look, Vicki Yohe, that's my girlfriend. I can have her come sing. Then that's money, and so forth. So you just have to be careful of when people try to break you down, but at the same time benefiting from who you are, okay? Because they can see the favor of God in your life, or they can see what you come with, the package that you come with. They don't want you to see it, okay? And that's why they tried so hard to break her down.
Influence. So when he started dating me, he wasn't thinking, I have found the woman of my dreams. He wasn't thinking that. He was thinking, hey, she knows out there. She's let me just lavish her with expensive gifts and pretend that I love her and so I can advance my movement and guess what? It did advance. I don't care what he says. It did advance his movement, and it put his movement out there. A lot of you know about it because of me sharing it. And I'm about to share with you something that's very, very, very difficult. He's very manipulative and controlling. And I'm about to share with you a couple things that I'm putting out there because he wants to use some things against me. And I'm the type of person, listen, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. But I was vulnerable, and I was wanting to please him so much. He has pictures of me that are not appropriate. He has pictures of me that are not appropriate that he asked for. About a year ago, he asked for these. And from time to time, he would ask for pictures of me in inappropriate ways. He has them. You're going to know that he has them. If he brings them out, he has them. He's the one that, how is he going to get them? He has them. But I know it was wrong, but I thought this was the man that I was going to marry, spend the rest of my life with. No, I feel so horrible that I did that. Because but I wanted to please him. I wanted to please him. He was so good to me. He was so that and if you just look at it, wow, he blessed us with I'm driving a Jaguar. I don't know, earlier I might have said I got some red bottom high heel shoes for Christmas. He got in the mail the other day, $945 shoes. I looked that up on the internet. And he's charming. He's got 3 personalities, I feel like he's got this, like a weak, then he's got just a normal, and he's got a strong side that it's vicious. It's just, but he was charming and he reeled me in. And we have had sexual relationships. I wasn't with.
Now, I do want to pause there also, ladies. Okay, this is like real talk. The real question is, Catherine said, why did she give it to him? Yep. Now, notice how, because some women, this is, hey, y'all, this is like the real talk conversation. She said he was a good man, okay? And based off of the things that we've heard, my question went to, well, how did she think he was a good man? Now, this is no judgment against Vicki, because I think sometimes, you know, it's something we've all played a fool. You know, she's going to stuff that I would have thought she could buy her own self. Okay, because she's very, you know, successful and so forth. She starts naming things. Red bottoms, okay, taking her on trips. The X, y'all know when I say the X with the S in front of it, having that, okay? He's charming. These are things the enemy can come disguised. All blessings are not from God. The devil blesses his people too. Okay, so you have to be careful and discern who is it that you're with, because it could very well be the devil in disguise. If a man is not even answering the phone when you call, that's a red flag right there. Okay, remember we talked about people having the phone off and they have it on charger while they with you. That's a red flag. They don't want anyone to pop up and call while they're with you. Okay, so you have to look at the overall picture. But then she also mentioned he had a vicious side. He had all of these multiple sides. He had the charming side. He had the vicious side that was very scary. That's a red flag. Okay, if people switch up like that, you dating them, they go from being really nice to you scared they're going to pop your neck off at one end. Okay, these extremes, that's a red flag. You better be careful. Okay, like really watch out for these things. But if you just talking about some $945 shoes and some stuff, some cars he's shown you, and possibly given to some of these people, he's not even buying it. It's coming from the ministry. Okay, those are not signs that a man is a good man. Okay, he can know how to deceive people, manipulate, will probably try to repo the car, everything else if you turn on them or try to leave them. That's just something to think about. Those are red flags. Brittany said another thing is don't take pictures and send them to anyone, okay, that pretends to care about you. It can backfire and put your pics all over the internet, send them to your job and etc. Exactly. Okay, you're right about that. You are so right, Brittany. Be careful about these pictures y'all sending out. Okay, baby, that stuff can haunt you forever. Okay, so please be careful. Hey, Susan, she said, I wish people would stop with the material. Exactly. It's not always about material stuff. How do you feel when you're with the person? And then you're hearing about other women. That's not a good man. Good morning, Miss Lysander. Okay, that's not a good man. So, yeah, I just want to highlight that. That doesn't make them good.
Them a lot. I wasn't with them because we don't live. I probably saw him 5 times this year. I hadn't seen him for 3 months, about 2 months now. But we have been, yes. I'm so glad I got that off my chest. And there are women out there, do not try. So I was talking to one of the women there. She was trying to say she's been with them a long time, but they've never. I said, don't lie about it. You need to be set free. And I told my sister today. And I told some of my family today, and I promise it felt like just a load. My heart had been so heavy. My spirit had been so weak. And I'm so thankful for my friends. You know, you can judge me and say, well, we thought you just this praise and worshiper and you don't mess up. Listen, I'm as human as you are. I was looking for love. And I thought I found it. I thought he was the one for me. They said, don't cry too much because they'll think you're unstable. I'm a very stable person, but let me just tell you something. I have been broken. And there are women, I know there are more of you out there. There's got to be. You know, there's got to be more of you women out there, because it's a racket. I'm telling you something. And this woman, his assistant, she's the one that sends all the gifts. She knows. She makes sure, like, if I'm at one of his meetings, if I leave the room, she brings the other one in the room. Y'all, it's evil, it's wicked, and it's horrible. And so I'm just gonna leave it there. Keep me in your prayers. Just don't shut me out. I don't want you to shut me out. I know some of you thought, well, you know, I thought you should. No, I'm just as human as anybody else. And somebody saying something on here. I'm sorry, I'm not even. Who's Pastor Cynthia? Listen, I'm so caught up in what I'm saying. Did somebody say about Pastor Cynthia? You know, I'm usually blocking and deleting.
And I wanted to show y'all. Now, remember, she said that after her video, he did a response video. Okay. Now, it was removed from Facebook. But I want y'all, I'm not going to show his full because it's 20 minutes. So talking about nothing. But I wanted to show you how demonic, y'all, this can get with people when you have escaped these places and how they'll try to twist things. You have to be careful, okay, who you're dealing with. Because this man, y'all, this has been going on for years. It has been going on for years. And so he didn't like the fact that she got out. So he was trying to ruin her credibility after that, okay?
To speak to you. Also, I want to say this. I'm really not trying to convince any enemies out there or anybody who don't really want to know the truth and really want to hear the truth. This is really for those who are innocent and could get caught up in the wrong spirit that's being portrayed and being that's being let out over airwaves, and also for my sons and daughters around the world. I want you to know that this movement that God is doing with face-to-face Jesus appearing to people, including her, is the most fabulous and amazing thing taking place through my life and leadership, which I'm very humbled by. I'm excited because I know, first of all, I'll let you know, I know that this attack is just right before, which you all know I got on Facebook Live and YouTube and share with you that a dream was just given recently that we're about to go into Canaan. In the dream, God says Canaan, the promised land. So right before that, there are multiple attacks right before that. And of course, you all know my ex wife came out with stuff after 10 to 20 years. And then now Vicki has turned. I want to say this before I go any further. There was brought to me dreams over the last 3 to 4 months that Vicki was going to turn and betray me. Of course, you know, she was talked to about this. And actually, it's amazing because she really notified me and my staff and told us that she just had a visitation from the Lord in her sleep. You know, that she had never had before. This is her second one that she has not talked about. And basically the Lord told her about the divine assignment and really spoke well of me in the dream about my divine and her divine assignment in helping. But as you know, my life and this ministry is under constant attack because of the magnitude of what God is doing. As you know, the Lord is coming down with me openly. Jehovah is. And Jesus is appearing, not only on my behalf, but out of friendship.
And let me also say this to y'all. Be mindful of people that try to put Jesus and God into stuff, okay, a lot, because they will use religion or God as a tool as well to try to get people's attention, to try to get them on their side. So that's when it's really, you know, pray about that thing, okay? Because notice he's trying to divert the attention onto her, but he's also including a lot about God this and God that, instead of just getting to the point, sir, of the allegations that were put out. Okay, he's trying to look like a player. What's up? What's up with that? Is that a cold cat? Susan. Okay.
and out of my connection with him to the masses around the world. This futile attack cannot prosper. But as a human being, I want to come before you humbly and transparent and share with you what's really taking place here so you don't be deceived by the enemy and his barrage of attacks. Number one, I don't believe God has called us to disparage anybody in the body of Christ or to try to attack them, whether we feel they're right or wrong. This is that old regime in the church. And God has raised up a whole new leadership. He's raised up a whole new era of leaders, of a new move that we're not going to do what the former move did. And the former move, they got dirt on people no matter how bad they are. He's told us to fight against principalities. And that's what I do. I fight against demons, demonic principalities. We're into saving people. And that's what Jesus said to Peter, the apostle. He says, put up your sword, for they that live by the sword shall.
So basically, we're going to stop there with that because he's going to try to put everything into a sermon. But he did respond after this and pretty much talked about how these were attacks against his ministry. He had stated that my life in this ministry is under constant attack because of the magnitude of what God is doing. He said, as you know, the Lord is coming down with me openly. Jehovah is and Jesus is appearing out of my connection with him and to the masses around the world. He stated that this futile attack should not prosper. Okay. Then he cites Bible verses that says those who live by the sword die by the sword, adding that in modern times one's tongue would be considered a sword. He said that he fights against demons. Okay. And then he kind of paraphrased words in Peter, Matthew 26, saying they that live by the sword will die by the sword. And so that video was taken down because people were reporting it as a threat to Vicki Yohe. Okay. He was trying to make it look like she was a part of a movement that was pretty much going against his ministry and that it was this demonic attack. So imagine you got her coming out giving her side of it, but then he's entwining the word, he's giving all of these different parables and things like that. And so now you had a group of people believing that. They were like, oh man, Vicki wrong for that. You know, she just slept with this man, mad. She's a scorned woman that's just trying to get back at him and his ministry because he didn't want her. You know, it was a lot of these different narratives that were going out. And so after that, y'all, it had kind of died down. Okay. We didn't hear pretty much anything else about that. Now, behind the scenes, though, okay, her and some more women have continued their pursuit to expose him because Vicki was not the only one. He's even had an ex-wife that has come out. Now, I'm not going to talk about that on this live because I want to do a separate live going into that part. But she's even come out and tried to expose him. So look at all of the people who have been trying to get people's attention about what's taking place. Okay. But now in 2025, in August, last week or this week, bam, here we go. Okay. We got motion. Now is money involved. Okay. A whole organization going on. Jessica said he reminds me of TV Joshua. They did a documentary about how his followers were mistreated. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, leave her alone. Now, let me show y'all. We're going to look at a couple of things. Let me show you recently Vicki's Facebook. Okay. Just a couple of the posts that she had posted on there after she found out that he had been arrested. Hold on, y'all. I had it over here. Okay, hold on. Let me get to her page. Had it all saved. I guess it was taking too long. It goes back. Let me find the one post I had it on. Okay, here we go. August 27th. Okay, let me share it again. Michael, turn it down. Okay, so this is Vicki Yohe's Facebook. Okay, now let me stop the comments for a second. Make this bigger so y'all can kind of see. Okay, so August 27th, y'all, she shared JMMI Global Property in Houston raided by SWAT FBI agents. And that was in Houston, okay? And she said, it's about time. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, she shared that particular article. Then she said, finally, FBI raids property owned by JMMI Global. Okay. And this is in the Houston area. We're going to look at that on this other Facebook page that I found, y'all, where it talks about what takes place inside of that location. Then she shared this. Okay, believe it. God did it in his time. I have cried happy tears. I know many of you didn't understand why I exposed him for nearly 2 years. I even wrote a book about my experience with this cult leader. In my book, and she has a book, baby, she advertised. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about for such a time as this. Okay. All you have is a voice is the title. And it includes the stories of 3 courageous women who were abused by David E. Taylor. This man abused hundreds and hundreds of women. Hashtag thank God. Hashtag justice will be served. Okay. Now look at how all of that goes together now. Because see, back then, no one wanted to really hear about it. He had put Jesus in there, talked a couple of scriptures, everybody moved on. Okay. It was just a matter of time before the truth started coming out. She had even written this book. I bet you her book sales are about to go up because see, people's ears are ready now. They are ready to hear the story. They are ready to read about what really took place in that organization. Okay. Then she put this here. Okay. She said, some of you, let's see, some of you have asked who is David E. Taylor. He made this video right after I started exposing him 6 years ago. Hashtag cult leader, hashtag evil. Okay, let's look at this.
Suckers! You gotta quit being a coward. Quit being a wimp running away. That's what most of the church do. Anytime a persecution happens, they start jumping ship, abandoned like rats. Weak suckers. They're afraid of what man can do. I don't care what man can freaking do to me. You understand that? You gotta quit being a coward. Quit being a wimp running away. That's what most of the church do. Anytime a persecution happens, they start jumping ship, abandoned like rats. Weak suckers. They're afraid of what man can do. I don't care what man can freaking do to me. You understand that? You gotta.
Okay. Now, who you trying to call a weak sucker and rat, sir? And I don't know how that Jerry curl is going to hold up in jail. Okay. I don't think they give you curl activator in jail. Okay. Then quit to call people weak. Okay. Quit to call people weak. Shout out to my sis, Shelly Shells, for the super chat. She put hearts in the chat. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. And thank you for being a sponsor for today's live. Thank you so much. Now, child, look at here. Okay. Look at here. Look at here. Whoo, that life will do something to you. Okay. Now, August 28th, Vicki shared, good morning. Michelle Brandon's mugshot has been released. For those of you that don't know, she was David's accomplice. One time, Michelle put me in a room and she screamed at me for 1 hour and told me that I was full of pride. She was making up so many stories. I mean, just breaking me down. I couldn't say a word. Every time I wanted to speak, she would say, "Shut up." I was crying so hard for 1 hour. When she was done, she told me, "You can go now." As I was walking out the door, she said to me, "All you have is a voice." She was speaking about my singing voice. When I wrote my book, God spoke to me and said, "Michelle is right. You are going to use your voice to expose this corruption." Hashtag justice will be served. This was the last text Michelle sent to me. Now, child, let me tell you, y'all, I could not believe that the person on the right is the same person in the mugshot. Okay. I was like, is that the same person? Exactly, Brittany. Brittany said he does look like he's demonic and angry. Exactly. Girl, I don't know how that curl gonna hold up, but I know it already started going left in that mugshot. Okay. Child, if anything, he's gonna ask for, can I get a little curl activator in here? He's not worried about food right now. He worried about that hair and them either cutting it off or giving him some curl activator. She deserves to be where she is in jail. Exactly. So let's take a look at this. Child, I just cannot believe it's the audacity for me. Okay, so she said this was the last text message that Michelle sent her to Vicki. She said, "You both are deplorable and despicable to speak on this, especially after see." Whew, this part makes me mad, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. When people start just pulling Jesus into stuff to manipulate, like leave him out of it. Okay, my thing is leave Jesus out your mess, out your evil stuff. Okay, because you doing what you want to do. This has nothing to do with him. You're just using it as a manipulation tool, and I cannot stand that. Okay, she says, especially after Jesus appeared to you twice. You and that psycho Anita deserve to be in your demonic activity. It's sickening as much as he restored you and you turned on him based over this. You don't deserve him or to be in his presence with the same dishonor his wicked, evil ex wife did. You will suffer and bend the knee when it's all said and done. So you trying to put him in the same category as Jesus? Because I don't think it said all knees will bow to David. Child, don't even go there. Michelle, stop. Okay. And this is her with makeup on. So you mean to tell me this the same? Y'all, this cannot be the same person. That's the same person? Oh my God. I just cannot believe it. I'm so serious. Wow. Okay. So then after that, on August 28th, Vicki shared this. She said, here is a leaked call between David Taylor and his accomplished Michelle B. We got to get our lick back or bag back. That's what he said. Okay, let me see if I can pull it up like this. Can y'all hear it? Shelly, can y'all hear it? I can hear it. Can y'all hear the phone call? I don't know if y'all can hear the phone call. Oh, y'all can hear. Okay. So I probably have to stop sharing and then go to the, okay, because it opened up into a YouTube. Okay, hold on. Let me stop sharing that right quick. I was wondering if y'all could hear it. I could hear it. Okay, let's see. And this was a leaked phone call between David and Michelle.
Hello? Yeah, Niche? Yeah, hello, sir? Yes, What is it? Oh, did my phone call you? Yeah, Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you. I'm sorry. My phone must have called you. I didn't mean to call you, but I do have a lady who's selling 15,000. Do you? Oh, great. Today? Yeah, she's in Belgium, so she has to wire it. So she's wiring it, so we won't see it until tomorrow. Great. We gotta get our money back. Yes, sir. Okay, I got this one. I was not let me finish. Okay, all right.
Baby, he said we got to get our money back. Okay. I want to know, what do they tell these people for them to send $10,000, $15,000? Like, ooh, child, that's a lot of money to just start wiring to people. Okay. These people not sending a $10 offering. And it's sad. Some of these elderly people are being scammed, y'all. And God is not pleased with that. Okay. He is not pleased when you're scamming people. It's a difference between letting people just freely give, but to use manipulation tactics, things like that, that's no. Okay, that's not the way to go. So let's go back. Vicki had a couple of more posts. She also posted August 28th update. Oh, David is being extradited to Michigan. Okay. Baby, she been keeping us in the loop. Let me make it bigger. She's been keeping us in the loop. Okay. Let's see here. What else? Then she put, this was funny to me. August 28th, hashtag resting well, hashtag I'm at peace, hashtag to God be the glory. Mark say from David E. Taylor today. And then on the flag it says JMMI. That is his church or his ministry. Now that was funny to me. Okay. And then let's see, where's the other one? Okay, I think well, this was kind of, in line with it. She just posted this one 14 hours ago. And it was a post from it says FBI Director Kash Patel, exploiting faith to run a forced labor scheme is evil. Under President Trump's leadership, this FBI is moving decisively to bring justice for victims and hold predators accountable. No one is above the law, especially those who abuse the vulnerable for profit. Okay. And then it has more of the story here. It says self-proclaimed apostle who claims to be Jesus's best friend, arrested in forced labor scheme. Okay. David Taylor and Michelle Brandon allegedly used call center workers to solicit millions in donations. Y'all, I'm telling you, that's why they were really going after them. It's a lot of money. Okay. A lot. It's a whole organization. A lot of money involved in this. So they were really watching this. Okay. Now, another thing that I wanted to show y'all is this channel. Now that's why I was saying, y'all, you just never know what's out here for such a time as this. People were already exposing him in different things on this channel. Now, the channel, this is how I know a lot of people did not know about it. It only has 427 subscribers, but it's very rich. Okay. in content. And I'm going to show you what I mean by this. Let me pull it up. And it's called Agent Smith, David E. Taylor, Inquisitor. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Let me make it bigger. Okay. Now, on this particular channel, they have a lot of different type of videos and intel of things we did not know about. Now, I wanted to go over, let's see. It was one on here, another one I want to show y'all. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, let me go under just videos. And also, y'all, okay, here's the one with the compound. Now, this is one of the compounds. This was 2 years ago. Okay. This was 2 years ago that this video was put out here. This is the Campus for the Harvest compound that their church owned. And another thing I thought about, y'all, a lot of like the homes, the nice fancy houses, y'all, he had a huge house. Even the people in the neighborhood was wondering how a pastor owned that particular house. Y'all, a lot of this stuff was underneath the church's name, and the churches do not pay taxes. A lot of these things were underneath the church facility, which housed his, like I'm putting in quotes, call center. This is where the forced laborers were. Okay. These people were working for free, and they had a certain quota that they had to bring in. Okay. This is a whole organization. This is why they've probably been watching them for years. Okay, so let me show y'all this little video.
So here we are at the Eagles Fly Inn. Basically, this is the KOGGC cult headquarters, and look at what they've done here. They've basically made it like a fucking fortress, right? Look at what they've done. They've got the whole gate blocked off, right? Whole gate's blocked off. What is this right here? Let's take a peek here. Let's see if this is one of the cult members. I guarantee it is. They're going to come out. Watch. Here
Not the cult members.
Let's take a peek here. Okay, so we got the Mercedes right there. Look, there's the Mercedes. Okay, and check it out. There's all the cars right there that they're moving the people around with. You see them all parked right there? Those are all the vehicles right there that they move this cult around with. So they got this whole cult right here living here in this building. They've effectively moved their cult all the way from St. Louis all the way down to Houston, Texas. So
hello, dear listeners. Thank you for tuning in. This is David Taylor's new cult.
That is the one that the FBI raided there in Houston. Okay. I don't know if any of y'all have been in Houston and y'all passed by there. But out of that building.
Compound. Or the hotel. Yes, somehow David got his hands on a hotel. He's been talking about starting a college campus for a while now. When I first heard about it, I assumed he wanted to create a diploma mill. Just another unaccredited Christian college. They are quite common and typically used to scam tuition fees while providing useless degrees. However, David Taylor created something a bit different. Tuition is free, and he tries to fund it by fundraising during his live streams. Sounds all right at first glance until you realize he's luring people in with the promise of free education only to have them work in his call center. Aside from answering phones, we have seen them praying live on the KOGGC YouTube channel as part of their 24/7 Intercessors broadcast. They aren't receiving any education, just indoctrination, brainwashing people and making them dependent on the cult. It's doubtful half of the people there are able to leave. They aren't working, so they don't have the financial means to escape unless they have some cash saved up that David doesn't know about. There's a security guard in cheap tactical gear out front, making sure unwanted visitors don't get inside and quite possibly preventing people from leaving as well. This is one of the more concerning things we've seen the cult do because we don't want them creating another Jonestown. We have this footage because full frontal exposure visited the cult compound. The absolute mad lad actually went there and confronted the security guard like a boss. Props to you, good sir. Link to the full video of his visit in the description.
Go get the money, go get the money. Go get the money, go get the money.
Good try.
Go get the money, go get the money.
Somebody go get the money. Okay. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to stop sharing, but let me go back. So that was one of the videos that they had on there talking more about that particular compound, okay, where those people were working, and they would get punished if they did not bring in the amount of money that he, designated for them to bring in. Also, y'all, listen to the manipulation from the assistant. It's Michelle Brandon attempting to train the cash slaves like dogs.
Don't upload your videos to YouTube. Upload to Restream, where we will live stream it to YouTube.
Your money belongs in your pocket. If you want to be blessed, save your money. Giving it away is ignorant.
An opportunity. First of all, we have a lot of people who pay their tithes, but even more so, listen, don't get clammed up whenever people talk about money or ministers talk about money or pastors, especially here in God's kingdom where it's the best ground on earth. You should be excited. Anytime there's that door open, the window of heaven is open, you should be running to pay an offering and a tithe. You should go here because your seed is getting planted in the best place on earth. Because no matter what, every single day, like Apostle says, we reap what we sow. You sow to something, you're going to reap something. It don't matter what it is. You say something out your mouth, you're going to reap that out your mouth. Yes. If you sow to the wind, Apostle says you reap a whirlwind. That's in Isaiah. So no matter what you do, you will reap something. But how great of an opportunity. God says, you know what? This is a sign of you to show me intimacy and be willing to trust me in all things. Too many times people get fickle, funny about their money. They're like, oh man, okay, there it goes. You get uncomfortable. That's a devil. If you get any kind of uncomfortable, you feel any kind of squirming in you, it's a devil. You need to rebuke it and keep going because he's trying to keep you from your blessing. So right now we're giving you an opportunity to come forward and give an offering unto God, unto the Most High. And you need to just trust in him no matter what happens, that it's going into the best, most integral place on earth, God's kingdom, and it will be used. As you can even see, look around, everything is used for the kingdom. Amen. Everything is used to reach souls. Yes. You have a part in that. So put your offering in and let it be sacrificial. Don't be stingy to God, because he ain't stingy with us. God is never stingy with us. And here's the thing, God gave you the ability to be able to have a job, to be able to earn money. But too many times people take that and be like, okay, they earn money. I got a living. I got to pay these bills. No, you got to pay God. Amen. You got to pay him first, because seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then everything will be added unto you. You must put God first in your tithes and offerings. Yes. If you feel uncomfortable, I'm sorry, I don't care. That's right. Better shake that devil loose, and you better put something down in the offering, because it's for you, not for us. It's for you. We all go, and we can't wait to put our money down, because we know we've seen it manifested. Pressed down, shaken together, runneth over. And the word also says, believe in a prophet, and so shall ye prosper.
Now, I will say some of the things, though, that they're saying, I do believe as well. However, the part where it gets a little distorted is when you are trying to get people to do it like in a manipulative way to the ministry. Okay. And where is it going to? Because a lot of it you will see is focused on, let's bless the apostle with this car. Let's make sure, you're doing this as unto God. But then they're making him into a God. Notice some of the things that she was saying in her other posts. That's where it's dangerous ground. You're putting this person in place of God. That's a dangerous thing. But yeah, the scriptures I believe in, of course, your tithes and offerings and so forth. Yes, that's the part that's true. So some stuff is mixed with truth, but to use that to get you to do what they want you to do. Check this one out.
I do not like gifts. They are lying to you. That was the devil. During Christmas, I like gifts and I like big gifts. Okay, go on. I will not mess this up.
So every time, recently, last 2 years, every gift we've ever given Apostle, he ends up giving it back. And, you know, we've given him a private jet. We've given him a Bentley convertible. And each time we've done trips, and Apostle's like, oh no, let's give that back and we can buy more face-to-face books. That's his heart. So hopefully he won't give this one back, but we would like to go ahead and, you know,
I want to know he gave back.
To present you with this gift.
Okay, what are y'all doing this time?
A Bentley sedan.
Give me a Bentley. This is my Christmas present?
This is your Christmas present.
Oh my word. Y'all are so kind to me. Oh my goodness, what is that? I don't even know what make that one is.
It's a 2017. It's one that actually you mentioned to Daniel and some of the others that you want.
Go get the money, go get the money.
That little closing. Hey, second step for you, welcome. Right, Susan. Okay, it's stuff like that we're talking about, not the giving part with the word of God says. No, it's the, oh, do this to God to do this. Like, God doesn't operate like that. He loves a cheerful giver. Okay, he doesn't force anyone. He's not going to go against your free will anyways, you know. Now, if you don't do certain things, there are consequences to, you know, actions and sins and so forth. I'm not saying that. But in the manipulation tactics, when we put God into stuff to get our way or to get people to agree with our lifestyle and stuff like that, that's the part we're talking about. Okay. Let's see. What was the other one? We already saw the Vicki, Yahoo. Yohe. I'm talking about Yahoo. They even had one on here with Larry Reed. Oh my gosh. And then it was this one video I was looking at where a woman was kicked out of the church, but I couldn't hardly hear it. So I was like, I'm not gonna play that for y'all because it was like muffled. The person was trying to hide the phone. Let's see. Is this the one? Let's see here.
David E. Taylor tells his brainwashed fan club that they will be judged by God if they dare to criticize him. David doesn't like people asking too many questions. He doesn't like people doubting him. And he especially doesn't like people holding him to a higher standard. He goes to a great deal of trouble to combat criticism by fear-mongering and having JMMI staff harass anyone who speaks out.
I have heard stories of people that's talked against Apostle. They're not alive now.
No, they're not alive now.
Oh, Lord. Wait a minute. Not they're not alive now. Okay, now I never saw that clip. I gotta rewind that part because remember, she stated in her video that after she got away, that he said she's gonna die of cancer. He was speaking a word curse over her. But child, wait a minute. Now you saying this is a good man.
I have heard stories of people that's talked against Apostle. They're not alive now.
No, they're not alive now.
The Lord told me to make this video and to share my experience. I was like Aaron and Miriam, and I spoke against David, the father's friend, his face-to-face friend and prophet. And I had no idea what I had done. I had no idea the gravity of the penalty that I had to pay for opening my mouth against the man of God, the friend of God, the face-to-face prophet of God. I want to send out an admonishment and a warning to my brothers and my sisters and all those that see this video not to speak against David E. Taylor. And so I want to let you know, whenever I spoke against David, that my life went down in a downward spiral, and there was nothing I could do about it. I lost all connection with God. It was as if God shut the door in my face. I couldn't understand it. But I know in my heart that Apostle prayed for me. An apostle had a minister contact me, or I contacted the ministry. And since that very day, God has begun to break the chains off of my life. God has begun to restore the relationship and welcome me back in. And I don't know why. I don't deserve it.
Now let's look at some examples of JMMI staff trolling and harassing people online.
Oh, hold on. Let me see what this says, y'all. I know it's probably hard for y'all to read it. Let's see. We have holy indignation when you come against a man of God. We know what spirit you have. You have Satan's spirit. It's so simple. Say accuser of the brethren. Say it again, accuser of the brethren. That's how you know what's working in you. You are a devil. His attributes are quite clear. You will give an account what you do to God's chosen. Mark my words. When you stand before the Father, you will have to respond for what you're doing. Mark my words, your day is coming. So they're saying that once people leave and speak out against him and what happened in that organization, then the other staff, okay, or the people, excuse me, that are still a part will begin to troll underneath the comments. So this was one of the staff members. And notice how they'll try to speak word curses over those people. She said, Larry is not a Christian. He walked away from the Lord and is hustling hip hop water and riding people in a horse and carriage in the streets of St. Louis. He's smoking cigars, thinking he's some sort of gangster. He is wicked. Wow. People don't be so easily deceived by this guy. First of all, he has no credibility. So whoever's doing this is them talking against the content creator. He has no credibility to back anything he's claiming. Just another social media Pharisee trolling a true man of God. These guys be talking all super spiritual and intelligently trying to disprove what God has already ordained and approved. So foolish and unwise for anyone to agree in your heart and mind with a judgmental accuser of the brethren. This person said, you're a liar, kid, and mark these words. You will be judged if you do not repent of your lies and accusations. Lord, I thank you for these enemies that are surfacing. That just means you are preparing a table for Apostle Taylor in the midst of them. I pray they repent before it is too late, and that repentance will be granted to them so they would stop being used by the devil, being captive of him to do his will instead of your will. Girl, shut up. If you weren't headed to hell before, you certainly are now. Boy, I thought you were dumb before, but I see that it's worse than I thought. You are a buffoon. Even a fool appears wise when he keeps his mouth shut. Keep quiet and enjoy life while you can before both you and Jonathan arrive in hell in several years. That would be the logical thing to do. These people doing too much. Okay, so I think the rest. Let's see if there's any other things. So here's just comments.
Behavior can range from telling people to repent, to calling them gay, none of which are actual homosexuals. It's just mindless name calling. No man of God worth his salt would allow his staff to behave in such a manner, and no real man of God would ever use scare tactics to keep people from questioning him.
Wow, y'all, that is crazy. And it's like they'll try to make you look like you're evil or the devil if you leave. Notice all those comments had a certain trend, okay? Or you're the accuser of the brethren, and he is the best friend of God, and he's seen God face to face, and all of that. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then last but not least, y'all, I wanted to show you something on this other channel. This is from his church's channel. Let's see, is this it? Okay. I'll make sure it's big enough. Okay. So this is David E. Taylor, Miracles in America's channel. Okay. Notice this was streamed 16 hours ago. Okay. 16 hours ago. He was in jail back on August 27th. Okay. That's when he was arrested.
He says, my Father is greater than I. If God is greater than Jesus, then he has greater glory, greater power, greater everything.
We are called to walk in the greater works that Jesus prophesied, 1,000 times greater. In obedience to God, Apostle Taylor constructed a massive 30-foot
shall come, Jesus will deliver back up the kingdom unto God, who is all is and in all. And it says God, who delivered all things under Jesus' feet, is also to be noted that he put all things under his.
But I want y'all to take a look at these comments. So it makes it look like, if you are not, Micah, turn that down. If you are not familiar that he's already in jail, you would think that he is live. Okay. But one, they still want people sending in the money. Also, they're still making money on their YouTube channel, okay? But check out these comments, okay? Y'all, the comments take me out every time. Somebody said, you know, he was just arrested for massive felonies. Okay, baby, they're letting everyone know, okay? People are still under there saying, praise the Lord. And then this other person called him a Wakanda King. Okay, these people are in Texas, Lord, not Texas, okay? But the Wakanda King took me out. And baby, they will tattletale. Let me give this person a like for letting them know what's going on. I just could not believe it. Okay, I had to tell my son to cut the thing down. Okay, so there's still, y'all, some people that do not know what has happened. His YouTube channel is still going, okay? But there are people who are also letting folks know what is happening. So this is part one. Because, y'all, this thing has layers. We have to go back some and come forward, okay? And so, Rolanda said Trump is in the White House. What is the drift? This has nothing to do with Trump. Okay. So my thing is we're going to go back some because I want y'all to see what's been in play. Okay. This thing was not just something recent. This has been taking place over the course of the past few years. Okay. Vicki came out in 2018 exposing. His ex-wife has even come out and talked about some things. And this is like a puzzle piece to the things that are happening now. Now people are able to see that these people were not lying when they were trying to expose this before. Okay, now it's coming out. So this was part one, okay? And then we're going to then come out with part two so we can delve into what his ex-wife talked about when she came out. But baby, Vicki Yohe, she feels like justice is being served for what he put her through, okay? So yes, if you were not here in the beginning, make sure you go back and look at the beginning, because we showed Vicki's live from 2018, and it coincides with some of the things we're finding out now with this David Taylor and Michelle Brannon. Okay, if you have not hit the like button, make sure you hit that like button. Also, special shout out to my sis Shelly Shells for being a sponsor for today's live. If you would like to also be a sponsor, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat. My Cash App is scrolling on the screen, or you can buy a coffee and it is pinned at the top of the screen. But thank you all so much for joining today. If you have not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell, because you never know when I'm going to go live. Thank you all so much. And shout out to all the moderators that were in the building today, Shelly Shells and Lolo. Thank you, ladies, so much. I appreciate you. And shout out to the members as well. And special shout out to our Facebook family that joined us today. Thank you all so much, and y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
You just flip through truth with the open book. If you felt that heat, like share and stay locked in. Another chapter done, but we far from finished. Truth on the mic, yeah, we handle business. Real talk, no fluff, just facts and fire. From the book to the block, we taking it higher. The open book, every voice matters, every lie shatters. Catch you next page.